Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going today? This is the third live stream that I'm on today. Final one for today. Best for last, as they say. What is going on? We got Ale Mu, if that's how you pronounce it. We got Concierge of Web3. How's it going, my man? Hello, Leon. I'm glad to be here. Absolutely love to see it. What is going on, Yulia? Yulia, I was just being with your friend Theo. It was a great podcast, great conversation. Mr. High Thumb, what is going on, Mr. Flo? How's it going, guys? So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking Web3 marketing. Talk to me. We got Lorenzo in the room, my man, always cooking. Lorenzo, I'm going to be in your home country, Italy, in exactly 2 weeks from now. I've already started fasting for the consumption of tiramisu and red wine that I'm about to have. So absolutely excited. Talking about alcohol, Mr. Memo, my man. One day I gotta try the Mingles tequila that you guys have. Guys, hit me with your question. So today there are no question off limit. Whatever's on your mind, whether it's business concerns that you have, business challenges, branding, content creation, you're not sure how to ask the girl of your dreams out. I've all faced this. I can help you. Whatever your problem you're facing, I'm the merchant. I will try to be the merchant of the solutions for you. And while we get this right here, or actually right here, what we have is a QR code very ingeniously put by my colleague Kaito, formerly known as Kaito, now Daniele. Awkward time to be called Kaito. Daniele, who uh, is a QR code for the registration of a workshop that I'm hosting next Wednesday. So if you want to have access to the most extensive, cutting edge crypto marketing material that is about to come out, this is the place you get early access to it. So we got Julia asking, what would be the top 3 differences between Web 2 and Web 3 marketing? It's like an old question, but still. Here's what I'll say, Julia, and perhaps Daniela, we can put the question up, the one from Julia. Very good question. All right, let's go. So, what would be the top 3 differences between Web 2 and Web 3 marketing? It's like an old question, but still. Let me tell you this, as someone who's done both and who's made money in both and who's had a lot of costly mistakes in both, I will say that Web 2 marketing is a lot easier than Web 3 marketing, but it's also a lot more competitive. The biggest challenge that we face in crypto is our lack of marketing channels that we can use to attract customers. The first thing that I did when I started on Fungible is I thought, okay, let me try to run ads. So I actually tried to look at Facebook ads. I saw in the policy it was banned. Okay, X ads. I saw it was also banned. Google ads banned. Everything was banned. I couldn't advertise. So I scratched my head. I was like, okay, like how do I get known in this industry? I tried to reach out to some influencers. They wouldn't even answer me because I had too small of an account for them back then. So this only left me with one option, which was to build my founder funnel. The reason why crypto marketing is a lot harder and marketing in Web3 is because it's a very small TAM. The total addressable market is very small. So it's all the same. If you've noticed, it's the same 100,000 people that are rotating money between one another. It's just the same money rotating between hands. And as you might imagine, this makes marketing a lot harder and a lot more expensive to roll out. Uh, by the way, Kaito, I might ask you to mute yourself. I can hear a lot of. Thank you, man. So that is my answer to you, Julia. What I've been personally focusing on, and this is alpha for you guys. Since July of 2025, I've been trying to take my content strategy on Instagram and TikTok more seriously. So I've been working with I bought into a very expensive program where I they're helping me make Web2 content for Instagram and TikTok. They actually guaranteed 10 million views in 6 months, which I don't think we're on track for this. Anyways, the all that to say, so far after 60 days of posting, I haven't seen any results. Like zero, nada, nada. And the reason why is the type of audience that is on Instagram and TikTok is very different. Let me give you a piece of insight. I know someone in Montreal who built a business in crypto that is making $300,000 a month selling trading courses for crypto on Instagram. But that works because that type of audience is on Instagram. They are on these other platforms. If you're trying to market to super crypto native people, then X is the only place to do so. Memo, come to Ape Fest in Vegas. Man, I would love to. I would love to. Vegas is a very cool city. I like Vegas. C5 Fund. This time I joined early. Let's go. Emre, how's it going? This time I joined early as well. I got you. Emski, how's it going? Mickey registered. Merhab, 2 Leon streams in a row. What a lucky day, indeed. Another question by Julia. Let me see if there are any other ones. And here I thought my comments were good results. What do you mean by this, Haitham? The alpha is to expand at least to one more platform other than X. It was all silent until one video to go mega viral. I agree with you. So, Merhaba, I agree with you. It is every content creator. Its life is slow until you get one breakout, and it takes one video for you to have your 0 to 1 million moment. Here's what I'll say when it comes to expanding to other social medias. At any point of time, if you are doing this by yourself, you can only have one primary channel and one secondary channel. If you try to do more than a primary and a secondary channel, you're going to do everything and nothing at the same time. And this is me speaking from experience, having tried to build Instagram pages and LinkedIn pages at the same time. Just doesn't work. Even when you try to build 2 Instagram pages, doesn't work. And the reason why is very simple. Every platform genuinely has its own way of building, has its own strategies. And what happens, the way the strategy goes is you spend all your time and energy and effort on one primary marketing channel until it gets to the point where it works and the growth is linear. Then what I've done is I take my energy and I start focusing it on my secondary channel. In my case, it was X. So I started building my YouTube. My videos were, let's say, 3 out of 10 in quality. But I was able to consistently create 3 out of 10 videos. So then I took my attention and started doing X for a little while. And then I got a little bit good at X. It was okay. And I went back to doing YouTube again. By the way, sorry guys, there's a supercar outside. So distracting. Yeah, I know, but it's like I can hear it. It's so distracting. That's the only con of living in Dubai Marina, by the way. There's like supercars all freaking day. All right, we're back. What happens when you shift your attention from the primary to secondary channel is that channel stagnates. So you ultimately find yourself with a stagnant growth. If you look at my X and my YouTube, the way they grow is YouTube grows, the quality improves, and then I take my attention to X. and then X grows and the content improves and I try new things and I start doing articles and I start doing videos and I start doing more replies. And then I take my attention back to YouTube and then the quality improves. So if you are to look at my YouTube channel, you're going to see big jumps in quality over time. But consistently, this creates progress until the point where, okay, this is the new norm. Let's keep doing this and let me take my time and attention to somewhere else. Now imagine doing this on 3 channels or 4. It wouldn't work that way. So that's it, man, for you, Mirhab. Honestly, Instagram and TikTok for me are like full experimental. I'm getting like 200 views and I couldn't care. I really like, I'm spending so little time focusing on these channels right now because my two primary channels are X and YouTube. A second question by Julia. What's your honest take on how most Web3 agencies operate with all Galaxy style campaigns, engagement, and farming we keep seeing? Listen, that's not the path that I've decided to take with Unfungible for good reasons. However, what you're describing right now are mechanisms to get social proof. And social proof is important. I'll tell you a very simple story. I was walking down with my girlfriend, and we were like, finding a place to have breakfast. And it was on a street right here, full of coffee shops and restaurants. And out of all the restaurants, maybe like 20 restaurants on one strip, there was one that had a queue outside. When we passed by it, she looks at me. She's like, "This looks nice. This looks good. We should try this one out." What happened in that moment? We don't know what this restaurant serves. They could serve like nothing, just coffee. But the fact that there was a queue was a signal called social proof in behavioral marketing that if other people are queuing up, then something good must be happening there. So I should also investigate. So social proof in crypto marketing or just in marketing in general is one of the most impactful and most powerful marketing phenomenons that we can use and we should use as part of our marketing. One of my goals when I launched the trailer on the 22nd was to make sure that we had a lot of attention and eyeballs and traction on this because I have only one shot at making my announcement big. And I'm actually going to be making a video showing you guys exactly the day to day of what happened for me to get to that outcome. I'm going to be showing you all the Telegram groups we used, all the strategies. I'm gonna make a full case study of how I rolled out that training. It's actually very interesting. Uh, but that said, Julia, there is an element where it is important for to have social proof because it's what gets people to do things. Two projects, same branding, same product, same everything. One has 100,000 followers. The other has 1,000 followers. Even though the 100,000 are all bots, it still looks more appealing than the one with 1,000 followers. That's what I'll say on that point. Great question, Julia. Thank you. Let's see what other questions do we have. Yes. So Emery's amazing. So, Kato, would you allow me to share my screen? Keyword planner. Okay. So let me show you guys something that is going to be very useful for you right now. Super useful. You're going to absolutely love this. So let me go and open Google Keyword Planner. All right. Check out this tool. And by the way, Kaito, we can keep if you want Emir's comment. All right, sure. Amazing. Could we make it a bit bigger? Mhm. Yeah, it's fine. All right. Let me show you this tool, guys. This right here is called the Google Keyword Planner. This is an official tool by Google itself. Okay, sorry, I'm about to dox my credit card. So this is you can access this tool for free. The way it works is you just need to create a business account, and this allows you to see how many people are searching certain keywords in your industry. The first thing I did when I started on Fungible, believe it or not, there were a lot of big crypto and NFT agencies at the end of the bull market. A lot of them. A lot were very successful. They made a lot of money. They had all the connections. And here I was, Leon, with with hair back then, coming in with no followers, no money, and no connections. At the beginning of the bear market, starting an NFT agency. What a tragedy. This is the beginning of a horror story. But what I did is I didn't play the game that most people were playing, which was X. Instead, what I tried to do, what I did was this very exercise. I went on Google Keyword Planner and I searched Web3 marketing. And then by doing this simple exercise right here, what Google tells you is how many people are searching for that keyword. So I saw that 100 to 10,000 to 1,000 people right here were searching Web3 marketing. 10 to 100 people a month, this is per month by the way, were searching Web3 marketing agency. 10 to 100 were searching Web3 PR agency. I was like, okay, so this is like tiny, tiny niche, as small as a niche gets. But people are searching. So what I then did, and I'm gonna go to YouTube incognito mode so you don't, so my feed isn't biased and show you. What I did is I searched Web3 marketing, and I was like, okay, what would appear? And I started scrolling, and I didn't find any good videos. I didn't find anything that was super high quality. So then I started making content with the keywords Web3 marketing inside of it. And by doing this, look at the first playlist. This is an ad, by the way. Look at the first playlist that comes up. By who? By Leon. So I became ranked number one on a keyword because although it's a small niche, people do search for it and no one was creating content for it. At first, I dominated Web3 marketing. So then I searched crypto marketing. I was like, okay, crypto marketing is bigger, more bigger niche. By the way, is it not even sharing my screen right here? Kaito? Can you see? You should have told me that my screen wasn't. Daniela, are you with it with me? I can't hear you, by the way. Yeah, I think my producer dropped off. Cancel. I think my producer dropped off, ladies and gentlemen. It was for a second, but went off when you changed to incognito. Okay, okay. So let me share then this right here. Can you guys see this at all? Okay. Do you see the incognito YouTube tab, Kaito, or no? By the way, Kaito, I just can't hear you, man. Yes. Okay. I will take this as a yes. If it's not working, then be it. What I was showing is I went on YouTube and I searched for Web3 marketing. And I quickly scrolled and I couldn't find any good videos. I couldn't find anything that I was like, I can't do better than this. I saw everything and I was like, okay, I think I can do better than most of these guys. So I started creating YouTube crypto marketing related content. And when you search Web3 marketing right now, look at who comes up first. The best thing about YouTube is that it has discoverability baked inside of it. Discoverability is baked inside of YouTube. So these 100 to 1,000 people. Now let's look at crypto marketing, which is a bigger niche. Look at the first video that comes up. About your second question, Emre. Exit screen share. All right. About your second question, which is that one video that got 17,000 views. This video did well because it appealed to a much bigger audience than who I typically create content to. The video was titled "How to Make So Much Money in Crypto Your Parents Think You Sell Drugs." And the type of audience that I got from that video was a lot of crypto curious people, meme coin traders, people who trade in crypto. So this video did well to get discoverability, but it was not necessarily the target audience that I speak to. I've had better results in terms of people applying to work on the website with us by making a very in-depth, tactical crypto marketing video than I have by making these, like I just paid Alex Hermosi $20,000 and here's what I learned. That one video, by the way, got like 20,000 views, but it didn't get any business because it's actually not my audience. That video got me Web2 audience, which was not the audience I wanted to attract. Perfect. I got a question from Syed65, my man. So, Mr. Syed, you have your question is, hey Leon, what criteria do you guys use to decide if a project or team is a good fit to work with? And how do you make sure the projects you help raise for are legit and do not likely slow rug or go inactive later? For example, a project you guys worked with, I can't remember their name, but they experimented with a roadmap postment, which is a bad thing, showing the team weren't sure what they stand for, what they want to do before raising money. So this is a great question, man. And I honestly appreciate you asking it. Here's what I'll say about this question. The primary criterias that we look for are founders and teams who have managed to overcome the cold start problem. This is from a filtering process because we have a lot of teams that apply to work with us. The biggest graveyard of projects happen between that 0 to 10,000 organic followers. You say organic, but it can't be botted. You can tell when it's just botted. But when you have followers in common, that 0 to 10K is the graveyard of most projects. That's when most fail. And I create all my content to help founders overcome that hump right here. So usually if a project has the ability to start building what looks like an organic community, they've proven to be good operators. Then we move to the next part, which is how good of a product do they have? How interesting is it? And if this is something that we think we can support with, we'll have a call with them. Now, how do we know if it's a good fit? Usually, the way we work with founders, the services that we offer are very public facing services. We don't do go to market strategy. We're not an agency that will launch for you. We don't do none of this. We're not an agency that will uh, connect the founder with collab managers or with other communities. We don't do none of this. The services that we have, literally, the Founder Funnel Accelerator and the Unfungible Space Program. These are the two services that we have. These are two very public products that give founders the ability to go out on the public square and show the world what they are about. And by doing so, are able to garner the interest, curiosity, or questioning of the community. So through our channels, we literally just allow founders to make a case for themselves as to why people should bet on them. Because let me tell you something, man. If someone is willing to build their founder funnel, most of the time, these are people who generally have ambitions. They want to do something well. And here's what I'll tell you, man. Having my team I've spoken with over 1,000 founders in my 3 years in crypto. My team and I have a cumulative 3,000. This is according to my CRM data that we have. Most founders, man, generally want to do the right thing. They generally want to build something cool. Will they fail? Absolutely, man. Most founders will fail. Have you worked with projects that have just not succeeded? Absolutely. 100%. And if you can never have a 100% hit rate. And if you do, you're not trying hard enough. So that's what I'll say, man. If the line is very blurry between what constitutes a failure and what constitutes a soft drug. I would say between the two is the intention. If there was an intention of doing bad, the very nature of our product filters these types of persona out. Because most of the founders we work with, by the way, we tell them like, hey, you better dox because this is going to help you with your marketing. The Founder Funnel Accelerator. We film video content with founders. Some fly to Dubai so we can film video content with them. Like, man, a great question, Sid. I appreciate it, man. I know this industry, how it is. I do, yes. Now I can hear you, Daniele. Beautiful. Let me see. So this has started. Amazing. Let's do another 2 questions, and then we'll wrap up. It's been 2 hours and a half of live streams today. Let's go. Let's do the cactus question. So let's do cactus and then VIP. VIP has a good question. So which aspect of your profit tracking system did Unfungible struggle with, and how did you fix it? Which aspect of your profit tracking system did Unfungible struggle with, and how did you fix it? Here's what I'll say. The biggest challenge that we had, especially in the early days, and by the way, Daniele, if you can please mute yourself. Thank you. Here's what I'll say about this question. The biggest challenge initially was actually tracking profit. And I know this sounds crazy, but this is an exercise that I've done with all the agency founders that I've started working with on a mentorship basis. No one is actually tracking how does their business operate when left in a vacuum. And I recently made a video about this that is like, this one sheet completely changed my business. Most founders kind of know if they're in the green or in the red for a certain month, but most don't know how exactly is their business operating if left untouched. And the reason why this is hurtful for a business is in the early days, you're making decisions based on emotion. Oh, this month is a good month, so I'm going to spend more. I'm going to travel more. I'm going to spend more on marketing, or I'm going to hire new people. And then the next month is bad. So it's like, oh no, I can't hire and I can't spend as much. But when you're able to isolate all the unessential expenses, traveling to Token 2049 Singapore is an unessential expense. Hiring a coach or a mentor, it's important but unessential. The business alone, if left untouched, how would it perform? So when I started tracking just that while removing all the other expenses, I was all of a sudden able to know, like, oh, interesting. So this is the real profit margin of my business. That's the real performance of my business. And it's actually trending up or it's trending down. So if you haven't watched that video, guys, it's literally my last YouTube video or the one before. It's called This Tracking System 10x our profitability. It honestly did. I started using this when my business was at like 15K per month. So would absolutely recommend you to. We got a question from VIP. Albatros, Sabajo, what's going on? So where do you start learning marketing? I have a great book right here that is on my table called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. This was actually one of my first introductions to marketing and storytelling. I read the version 1.0 in 2000, I think 18 or 19, one of these 2 years. And the 2.0 version just came out this year. So I ordered it and we're currently going through it right now with Unfungible. We have a weekly book club, and this is the book we're currently going through. All the sales guys were reading this book, ops are reading another book. And what I will say is books are by far the best source of wisdom that you can ever have. There's a man out there called Donald Miller. He's in his late 60s, I think. He spent a life working with companies. He's raised millions of dollars with his business. His whole life learnings are between these pages. And I have the privilege of absorbing this in one afternoon while having a cup of coffee. And if you want to be spicy, have a cigar with it. If that's how you roll. But that's a privilege. And that's why I'm such an avid reader. And I would love to publish a book soon. I'd absolutely love to. It would be a dream of mine. I can't wait for the day I do this. The Nick Eaton has a good question. So how do you recommend starting an agency in Web3 with zero experience? How did you land your first client? I'm going to make this one very simple. I'm going to make this one super simple. Start by giving out your services for free. What is more important than making money on your first client is having a case study. A good case study can help you make 20 times more money than you would have had you try to monetize that deal. And when you're getting started, give it out for free. The reason I'm saying this is guess how we rolled out the founder funnel in the early stages. Our first 5 clients. I remember it was Valeria Games, Nifty Island, someone, and someone else. I can't even recall. But these were like 5 founders that I had in my network. I just sent them a message like, hey, do you want to start doing Twitter Spaces for free? We can help you. And they were like, sure. I was like, okay, cool. Just one condition. We'll do this for free after 6 weeks. But after 6 weeks, it's only 3.6K per month. That was like our first pricing. They were like, okay, sure. And we started working for free. Actually, all of them ended up upgrading into the paid product. So always start for free, man. Johnny, is coffee with orange juice acceptable? How does this work? Because you have like tea with milk It's like milk with a bit of tea. How does the orange juice and coffee work? Is it orange juice with coffee, or is it coffee with orange juice? Which one? What is the ratio? I need to know the ratio here. Uh, Bought the book after you recommended, and now I'm going to get certified next year. Let's go, Memo. I absolutely love it, man. This is very well aligned with you, by the way, with the tequila brand that you're building. Memo, I'm going to recommend you something. I'm actually going to invite you to study these guys called midday squares. Daniele, would you allow me to share my screen, please? Full sensor. Let's go. Chat is popping. Let me show you guys. Memo, I need you to study midday squares. Midday squares are actually a company that I met in Montreal. They had 5,000 followers. The founders are from Montreal, and they were able to take over market share in the most competitive industry that ever exists. Tell me an industry more competitive than the chocolate industry. You're literally competing with Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Nestle, Hershey's, Kit Kat, all these big guys. They were able to build a brand of storytelling. Look, they're a chocolate company. This is their product, like for context. This is what their product looks like. Where in their content do you see chocolate? You know how most companies, the way their brand would look like is like this. This is what their Instagram looks like. Look at their Instagram. So, Jude, I would strongly, funny enough, I had the founders of Midday Square on a podcast in 2021 when I had a podcast for my engineering brand. It's really cool to see founders built from zero. Big, big W. By the way, guys, if you're on Instagram, that's my username at Abboud. Let's make sure we connect. Send me a message as well so I know where you came from. Let me see. Let's go to Mr. Concierge of Web3. You said you asked a question. Who bought it? How do you track performance and also verify engagement in marketing when you work for a project? Um, so this is one of these things where the intent creates the outcome. That's a funny one. Intent creates the outcome. If someone is adamant on gaining weight and they want to continue eating the cookies and the donuts, they're going to gain weight. If a founding team is adamant on botting their engagement and botting their views and botting their followers, they're going to do it. So a lot of it is the intent. Let me be clear and let me be honest with you because I operate with 100% transparency. We work with a lot of clients, a lot of them. We never touch anything inorganic. However, we have clients who prefer to boost their own engagement on the content that they do on their own. Although we recommend and we educate and we support and we teach, some founders and some teams are adamant on doing that. And let me tell you something. Most of the engagement that you see for most of the brands that all of us are farming, when you see a brand has 1 million followers on Twitter, how much does Monad have? What is Monad at? 1.2 million followers. Let me ask you a question. Do you generally think that there are 1.2 million people on Twitter in crypto? Generally. I don't think so. So there is a level of botting in the industry? I guess the right question is, where are you in the spectrum? All right. So with that said, Mr. Haitham, so last question and we'll wrap it up with Haitham. Would these founders and teams still be considered good fits? It really depends. It really depends. Again, if we catch a project with a botted following with your, like our litmus test, litmus test. I just recently learned that it's litmus, not litmus. Our test is, if you have organic engagement and you have something real, you're a good fit. So again, intent creates outcome. They would not have built an organic audience. The hard part first and then bought it later. Usually it's the other way. Brands start by botting and then do the other thing. So they would have been already been disqualified from the beginning. The thing is, man, like we have companies that are running like questing campaigns. They're running they're running influencer marketing, and then they have other agencies, and maybe the agencies are botting their thing. It's very complex, man. And I wish I could tell you uh, yes, no, after the fact. What I will say, man, is most teams are that we've worked with, they're all well intentioned, ethical. Some have failed, and some many will continue failing. By the way, let me be clear right now. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This was my third hour of live stream content. You might have noticed the voice and energy levels were a little bit different from back then, but it was the hot water in the jug that kept me going. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it was a great pleasure sharing this time together. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. If you haven't registered yet, there we go. I got it right. Make sure you register using the QR code for a workshop next week. You're not going to want to miss out on this one. And I will see you very soon. Bye.